I think it might be my favorite passage, although, that's hard to say. But in any case, Alan, it's chapter, section 47. At this point, Alan has lost everything. Wife, career, daughter, and home. Got kicked out of the last flop, I believe. And so he's returning from a New Yorican poetry reading to the park bench that had become your new home. So, returning to my park bench, I spotted a cafe regular entering the park, bearing a beer quart and a broken umbrella, sauntered over in the charcoal gloom. I recognize you from the New Yorican. Yeah? What? You want to keep me company? So sit. I sat. What brings you here? Can't sleep? This be my current forwarding address. Oh yeah? Any mail came so far? Yeah, part of a newspaper, used it as a pillow. It blew right away against my bench, like a message. Well, you know what Kerouac said. What's that? Fame is like yesterday's newspaper blowing down Bleecker Street at dawn. We both laughed. Here, he said, passing the bottle. I know thirst when I see it. Thirst first. I drew some, sighed, drank more. Thanks. Goddamn needed that. He nodded. You're welcome. Got a name? I saw it and saw him flip through a mental index. I said it and saw him flip through a mental index. No match turned up. Jim Brodie, he said. I knew who he was. You're in Anne Waldman's Angel Hair Antho. He nodded, pleased. You were with the New York poets. I stand accused. You mean honored. You're a famous guy. To who? Me and other poets I know. I've read your stuff. Great work. You're not that regular at the Poets Cafe, though. I just see you there now and then. There, no. Here, often. Usually I'm on the other side of the park, near Life Cafe. So how's a guy with your rep end up here? How'd you end up here? Me, I'm nobody. Just this, that, and the other. Yeah, me too. He held up the bottle. This is my this. He lifted his arm and left the unbuttoned sliding shirt sleeve reveal a poppy field of abscessed needle marks. This is my that. My other is that I've got AIDS. With me, it's just this, I said, nodding at the bottle. The AIDS thing. I understand that's not so good. No, not so good. He pulled on the quart. Lucky, healthy you, he said. Held up the beer. But this shit, bro, and the harder stuff, it'll kill you over time just as dead. Brodie, I feel like I'm dying inside already. Brodie drank, wiped his mouth, said, in which part of you? Every part, I said, and I added, heart especially. Then I explained, and Jim listened patiently to the whole litany of my complaints, the beatings from my mother, my early schoolyard soul murders at the hands of molesters, and conversion to thuggish violence, my catastrophic failure to realize my gifts as a writer, the anguish of violence, the disillusioning experiences as a soldier, my disastrous inability to find love with a woman, especially my betrayal of true love with Anna, my ruined Ivy League career, my blackout bride and abandoned baby daughter. I spoke at length about Isadora. When I was done, he said simply, that's not it. What do you mean? I mean, all you just said, that's not why you're out here dying inside. No? I laughed angrily. Well, then what the hell is it? It's this, he said, hoisting the bottle. This and nothing else but this. And this, he said, surveying the park with his eyes, here in hell is what this gets you. Then added, gets us. It began to rain. He snapped open the umbrella. The batwing flaps hung broken-necked. We huddled for protection. Quick, lift your feet. A soaked rat the size of a cat charged under, rain streaming its coat. Yeah, that's very beautiful, said Brodie, shaking his head. Fucking New York City. Quietly, we sat and drank, listening to the rain. It's weird to hear you say that. What? You know, about booze doing this. When I was at Columbia, there was a reception for this visiting writer who came to give a talk to us grovelings. But I got, totally sloshed. As usual, said Brodie. Right. I was sprawled out on the sofa with a dumb grin, cradling a bottle, and as he exited, he passed me, looked, stopped, and I said, I hear you're a pretty good writer. I said, yes, so? You know, like a real wise guy. And he said, pointing at the wine, that's going to get in your way. I forgot about that until just now. I mean, you're the second writer with the rep to point out the booze. Sounds like somebody's trying to tell you something, but will you listen? I shrugged. That's called denial, and you know what they say about it? Pass the beer. He did. I took a long, defiant pull, gasped, handed it back. They say denial is not a river in Egypt. Looks to me, I said, like I don't give a shit. Brody nodded that he understood. You do, but you ignore dire warnings. I do too. Then something happens to make you think, like you get AIDS. And what about that little girl of yours? Who are you kidding? You care about her. I hung my neck, broken-necked. I hung my head, broken-necked like the umbrella. Yeah, but I don't know what to do about that. Look, it's way too late for me, man. I got AIDS, but I figure, what's the point of saving yourself if you're going to die anyway? It's too late for me, but it's not too late for you. I didn't know much about AIDS at the time. No one did, and wondered if he spoke as if it was catching, the infection crawling from his shirt to mine, huddled as if we were in the rain, rubbing shoulders. But I was moved. Despite his fatal illness, despite that we sat with rats running under our feet, still something mattered to him, and it wasn't himself, not his fading fame, nor his ending life, or the regrets that I saw eroding the lights in his eyes. It was me.